Sujani. Kajal. Kajal.
Kirti. Radhika.
Sujani.
Penu.
Tanvi.
Purna.
Radha.
Stay, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Gopi Krishnan.
I'm the one who is shooting, so I'm Rajabhakti Devidasi. If you want to see my face, please see me in the previous video. Prabhu, we missed you. Introducing yourself.
Kapil, how are you?
It's going live stream, devotees. I'm letting you know. It's live stream. Yes, it's going live stream onto the channel. See, last time the file, 1 hour file, I could not bring it to the desktop. Storage problem, these problems, I could not upload that class. So today I decided I would live stream everything.
So thank you very much, devotees. We'll just continue. So it's almost 7 o'clock. So we do different themes. So last week what we started is conversation between Yaksha. I just want a little prelude, background what we discussed. So conversation between Mahabharata, Yaksha, not Yaksha, sorry, Yaksha is Mahabharata. Yaksha and Yudhistir. You all know the story. So in about to start their cognito after 12 years of exile, and then they're traveling in the forest and they got thirsty, and then Yudhistir, all Pandavas, 5 of them with their wife, Draupadi sat there, and first Nakula went to find the water, and then he ran to lake, and was his dad there. They have a big task, they have a big goal what they wanted to do. In that situation, how you can respond to the adversary. So this personality, Yudhisthira, is amazing personality. In that, if he maintains his composure, he answers all the questions. It's not the question he has, like it's a rapid round. Question after question after question, he has to think twice, and then not even think twice, he has to keep answering the questions. He did that. So we talked about some of the questions last week, and then we're going to continue. Hopefully we will conclude today. And then we're going to talk about from Mahabharata perspective, this question answers in the Bhagavatam view. Like, and take there, how does it mean to you? What we can do. So a few questions, I'll just run it fast so that you understand those who did not attend the last week. So those who know the answer, I hope you remember, we can quickly touch base. So Mahabharata is an itihas, that is a history that which happened, itihas. So it helps us take the inspiration our day-to-day life. How to live. While we are living in this material world, how to live. Doesn't matter who we are, how to live. Ramayana teaches how to lead exemplary, as a father, as a mother, as a guru, as a king, as a wife, as a daughter. You name it, any relationship in this world is a role. Father is a role, guru is a role. People come and go, names comes and goes. It's all the number game, names and numbers. But the role is eternal. So Ramayana teaches as an exemplary behavior, the character in each role, how. And the next is Bhagavatam teaches how to live peacefully and fearlessly. A lot of people, like, we have a doctor here. So everybody is afraid. Either they take insurance. We have an insurance domain guy. He works for entire Northeast insurance. I'm just making some humor. So I work for banking, Chase Bank. So everything is provides a security for tomorrow, right? So Bhagavatam teaches we can live. While we're living, it's good. We have to do what we need to do, but death can come anytime. How to live peacefully, fearlessly, without any remorse. So that teaches. So now we are taking Mahabharata and then blending into the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is the context. So we discuss about quickly. We'll do the rapid round, and then we'll slow for this week. So what is the heavier than the earth?
Mother.
Mother. We discussed why and how. And then, who is higher than the sky? Father. If you have any comments, we can discuss. You can ask me to hold. We can discuss. The next is, what is the faster than the wind? Mind. Good. And then, who is more in number than twigs in the tree? Worries. Nobody cannot deny that. Who is a friend of the person who's close to death?
Charity.
Yeah. Parikshit, you should get let the answer. Others give a chance. Yeah.
That's why it's Parikshit.
Where does this question has 4 sub questions. Where does religion, success, heaven, and happiness resides? We'll take one at a time. Where does religion resides? Parikshit?
Compassion.
Pretty close. Awareness. Religion came from the word religio, to bind back. The Islam, Christian, they are not religion, they are denominations. Real religion which binds you back to yourself. Where does that reside? It's an awareness. Otherwise, I can put a tag, I'm a Hindu, take a baptism tomorrow, I'm a Christian, that's not religion. That's the reason religion is different than the spirituality. Okay, he says religion resides in awareness. Next, where does the success resides?
So is it religion that resides in awareness or faith?
Faith?
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about this quickly. So religion is how do you bind back to yourself, to know yourself. So faith is something which, what is a faith? Let's talk about faith. That's a belief system. You have a faith. Your identity, your lifestyle, it's all depends on that. Whereas religion is awareness. That means I'm aware of my nature. What is the religion of a salt? Salty, the nature. What is the religion of a sugar? What is the religion of chili? You understand the point I'm taking? So everything has certain characteristics. So what is my characteristics? Anybody can explain? No. I can make up. It used to be faces the inness of the mind, not anymore. People can act. So, but if I'm honest, I know what is my religion, true to myself. This is my nature. So faith is a different, that's a lifestyle. My belief system. Like, faith is something like which come from the conviction. Like, for example, my mom says, my dad says when I was a little kid, don't put a finger in the fire. I don't know before that. Now, I wanted to experience that. When they're not there, suddenly I put my finger. Then I got it. So now, I have a belief system. If I put my finger in the fire, it's going to burn. So I learned through experience, through that and repetitive way, it brings the conviction based on my experience. Because conviction is a strong experience. That leads to faith. That's where our destiny, our lifestyle is dependent on it. It's the psyche. So now if you talk the religion, so now what is my religion in that person? Do I listen? Not listen. Did I really learn even after putting my finger? I do it again. There's 3 kind of people. Somebody learn it by watching. Somebody learn by hearing. Somebody learn it by experience. So somebody don't even learn after that. That's their nature. So that's two different the dimensions. That's my understanding. Anybody wants to add anything?
Religion is an ideology, right?
Yeah.
Ideology. Faith is applying that ideology.
Faith is?
Faith is applying that ideology. Religion is an ideology at its core. With someone who has faith is applying that ideology.
It's good. So I said religion is a nature. The faith is a lifestyle. In one sense, lifestyle. So is that address your question? Do you want to add anything?
Go ahead, Prabhu. It helps everybody else too.
This is the
Yeah,
forum,
because
right?
everybody
That's
else,
why it's
it's
forum.
not
I
like
mean, to me, it's different. I mean, I don't know if that's according to the Bhagavatam, but I mean, to me, awareness is self-realization. Religion is applying your faith, because there's different ways of applying faith, and that's why you have different religions. So
When you say religions, you're talking about
denominations, yeah.
So is that a religion?
Yeah,
Much
I mean,
deeper
by
than-
by the term and definition that we go by in this world, that is religion. Religion is a set of beliefs and systems that bind a community together.
Yeah.
And they all are applying their faith. Faith is a universal thing.
Correct.
Right? Everybody who's religious in the world has a faith in God, whatever that shape, form is.
Yeah.
But they all choose different religions to express that faith.
Right.
So I'm not.
Foundation, right? Faith is the foundation.
I find, yeah, exactly. I agree. I mean, I think faith is what we have, and how you get to know yourself is self-realization, but how you choose to express that and how it's been chosen to express as a society is religion, in my opinion.
For example, Hinduism, do you think is a religion? Let's say Hinduism.
I mean,
So-
in one way it is, in another way it's a philosophy that people say
Yeah.
that it's a philosophy.
Yeah, if you look at, right, there is no word of Hinduism in Vedas, right? So probably Sanatana Dharma, right? So people are calling we are Hindus, or so only British came. I think they kind of fragmented some narrow-mindedness, right? They bought in, right? You are a Hindu, you are a Muslim. Sanatana Dharma is what we all belong, right? It could be any religion for that matter. So I think it depends, right? How you define this.
Yeah. So that's the reason in the scripture says it is there in awareness. For example, today I'm a Hindu. For example, I was born in a Hindu family. After some time, then I like Islam. So I accepted the faith Islam. After practicing 10 years, I became Buddhism, Jainism. So something like that. A religion by nature should not change. But what is changing here? Faith is also changing. My faith in this particular belief system is right now I believe that I follow this protocols, do's and don'ts. And tomorrow I'm changing, and day after tomorrow something else. But definition of a religion should not change. Religion of a salt is salty. It doesn't matter if you go to moon or a sun or underwater over the ocean. Because that's nature.
Isn't that the definition of Dharma?
Yes. Dharma and religion is closely related.
Yeah.
So they are closely related. Dharma, so like we can say Hindu Dharma, Hindu religion. So they are the different language. Dharma is a Sanskrit, religion is in English. So we're talking about the same Hindu Dharma, Islam Dharma, Sanatan Dharma, Vedic Dharma. So both are talking the same, but depends on who's talking and what is the context. Again, it changes. But in general, the principles are universal. Preferences are local. How somebody can use this yoga as a different way. How somebody can think God is what is for them. So there's the belief system. Where is the belief system comes? This one time I mentioned last week, I'll say again. I teach in Yudhistir University. So the thought process. This is not something I read it anywhere. This is my own understanding and made up. First a thought comes. Many thoughts comes and goes like ocean, have many waves. And then we don't pay much attention. So many thoughts comes and goes. But when you pay attention, when you delve on it, if you empower that and become a strong thought, it becomes an idea. So many ideas comes and goes. But if you are most attached, the idea becomes strong, it becomes a desire. Then desire, there is no facility for me to act on it. Some desires comes and goes. But when I act on it, it's called karma. Then it has an equal and opposite reaction, action and reaction. And if I do the same thing again, based on that, it becomes a pattern, certain pattern. He's holding like this, you are holding like this, she's holding like this. There is something which, why do you like guava? Or somebody like mango, somebody like pasta. Why this? There is a reason behind it, everything. There is an inbuilt mechanism. So that pattern eventually will build habit. That habit, if you continue the same chain again, then it will become your destiny. This entire system is a belief system. Why somebody even want to do something, say certain things, everything, there is which drive force from within. So that can be changed. These belief systems can be changed. Faith can be changed based on time to circumstances. Habits can be changed. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. Your destiny also can be changed. That's what Bhagavad Gita teaches. Krishna says, your karma is not eternal, can be changed. But it needs some endeavor, strong endeavor, you can do it. But when it comes to your nature, that nature which you acquired from many, many lifetimes, though it can be changed philosophically, but it's very, very difficult. It's not that easy to change the faith, religion. When I'm talking about religion, not talking about the Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. They can be addressed like that. Like, these people are Hindu religion, so that means in ideology they follow certain ism, so I call them a Hindu. They have certain faith system. What I'm talking about much, much deeper than that. The nature, the core inner nature, constitutional position. So that's the reason Dharma is a constitutional position, but the closest English word for Dharma is religion. There's nothing else. There's nothing else for Dharma, the closest other name, religion, in English. In Sanskrit, it's called Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana, that means eternal. What is eternal? There is no beginning, there is no middle, there is no end. That is our nature. At core, we are spiritual nature. So that, when he's talking about how to, like, somebody give me, when I go to dentist, then they give me numb, so I don't know who am I. So I'm not aware. Because even to aware myself, who am I, so that's where it lies. My identity lies in my awareness. So right now, I think if somebody asks you, Purna, what's your name? You say, Purna, I'm a software engineer, I'm this. So your awareness is coming from based on what you know. But my awareness, if you go much deeper than Athata Brahmadika, I'm a soul, who I was before. That's the reason when he says, it's very profound. He says, the person who's asking is Dharmaraj. The person who's asking this question, Yamadharmaraj, which is personification of death. And who is asking? Yudhistir, personification of Dharma. The conversation these two people is so profound, so deep. And this is the volumes being discussed in the ages of humanity in the past. So for us to understand even a little bit, like, when it says, like, it says, where does religion resides? Awareness. Where does success resides? In charity. And he is experienced with a conviction. He went through life of so much of experience. Through the experience, he's giving these rapid answers. He's not even thinking of second, like, we are discussing, like, in a different perspective. His brothers are dead. He has a mission to fight a big war. You don't know what is the future. In that dilemma, if even little pain is there, our consciousness entirely goes there. If you don't get a pay stub, if somebody is getting laid off and somebody's death happens, what is our consciousness? And this person, in spite of that, holding the composure and expressing his experience based on what he learned. Right or wrong is a different discussion. But this is what he said, and this has been authorized and accepted by the Dharma personification, which is the death, god of death. So this conversation actually been read many, many centuries.
I didn't realize that was the answer he was giving.
I mean, we can always debate, discuss so many things, but this is what his perspective.
But he never counted, right, any of the answers.
He never counted. That's a good question. Yeah. Because right or wrong, no one discussed easy. Question is right, answer is wrong. Because what it is given, these two are Mahajans.
Right. Sometimes you could have multiple answers, but there was no debate, discussion.
There's no debate.
It was accepted.
It was accepted, yeah. That's good.
And he already ruled Indraprastha for about 26 years, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
So he has a vast experience behind him. The answers he is giving, he has vast experience.
Yes, he's proven himself.
Right, he was a king, right? Indraprastha, right? So he was the emperor, in fact.
And on top of that, I don't know, Kapil, you know about this. Yudhistir, chariot never touches the ground. Because Mother Earth has so much of respect for this Dharma personification. Whenever is war, in his chariot will never touch the wheel. Its wheel never touches the ground. So that means we can understand, like, you could quote this person. Like, and we can I can believe him. So we just quickly running. Okay. So what is next? What we discussed. Where does the heaven resides? Anybody remember? is something like religion. In awareness, it resides in truth. You can make, you can say, you can make hell out of heaven, heaven out of hell. We heard this. So truth, the heaven, it's a physical proximity, of course. At the same time, it is also in the truth. What is the heaven? It is where the good things resides. Truth. And then, of course, happiness, we discussed, is in charity, a celibacy. What is the
reason
match?
why Trisenku was rejected from the heaven?
What is that?
Trisenku, right?
Oh, Trisenku. Because he's not truthful. You know the story. Should I say it quickly? So there is one king in the past, and then his name was Trishanku. He wanted to go to heaven in a living body, like this. That's against the nature.
His son's dynasty, right? His forefathers of Rama himself, right?
Yes, exactly. So that's against the nature. Nature is that Janma Mrityu Jara. People grow, offspring, get diseased and old and then die. And the next birth. That's nature. But he said, of course, everything is possible. So then he went to Vishwamitra, who was a Raja before, now he became a Rishi. He's a Rajashi. He's the greatest of ascetic. So with his power, with his ascetic power, and then he sent him to heaven. Wherever he, whenever he, with his, like, I don't know about, you have seen, sometimes you go to exhibitions, like, there is a, I don't know, when in India we used to do this, like, there's a big balloon, you have to come and hit the balloon, and then the power you hit, there is a bar, it goes up a little bit, how much, like that. So now with his power, he sat there in meditation, with his power, all his powers, using him to ascend to the heaven. And then he goes up. Finally, when he's about to reach, the heavenly people, king of the heaven is Indra. He pushed him down. You don't deserve to be here. He falls down, up and down. And then again with his mighty power, he used to say. Skull, then eventually he tried many times. He says, you are teaching, what is that? Fish, how to climb the tree. That's unnatural. It doesn't happen. There is a process for everything. To get to heaven, they have to do pious activities, do dharma, a certain perspective, and then eventually, when that is fructified, that's where they automatically comes. You're trying to know, it has the power and do it. So, in spite of many failure attempts, he could not do it. And then he said, okay, now he created his own Swarga for this guy. It's called Trishanku Swarga. With his power, Vishwamitra created a planet. And then he sent him there. We don't know how long he lived there, because ultimately, we are all living on debit card. How much you put in, that's what we can take it. So he lost for some time, and then eventually when power goes down, he has to go back again. He has to do meditation for him to push him down. That is the story of Trisenku Swarga. Anyway, so what we learn is, heaven resides in truth. Next is, where does the man's soul, the woman's soul, children, their byparts, and what has covered the earth? Okay. What is laziness? Anybody can try? You remember? Yes.
Who sleeps all the time? Who doesn't do their work?
all the time.
Yes, that's correct in material world.
Who doesn't do their work?
Laziness. I'll tell a joke.
My daughter will tell my father.
I'll tell a joke. Parishit was 3 years old. We all went to New York, Columbus, two big trucks, not trucks, like vans for New York Ratha Yatra. So it was a summer. We stopped in a gas station. Everybody took a little break, and then they got whatever they wanted. And some of us got this Sprite, because it keeps you awake to drive for 10 hours. And then Parishit asked everybody, hey, why? What is that?
Like, why do you get gas and Sprite? Like when you open it, like goes.
Yeah. Why when you open the Sprite? So why there's a gas? Everybody's thinking why this is guy.
They've been doing chemistry.
Technical.
Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, something.
Everybody said this and that. He said no. He said, Finally, they could not answer. He said, why? Because we bought in gas station. he made a business.
We have 4 or 5 cars going, right? So we did to every car we sent a question. So everybody is sending the answers. So we're like, no, and finally, because we bought the gas station.
Okay, that's another one. Yeah. Ignorance towards the one's dharma is laziness. Ignorance towards one dharma is laziness. Otherwise, truth is awareness. Like, a person who is truly happy.
No debts, no loans.
Anybody here is free of loans? That zero. In America, of course, he lives in an apartment. If you have a home,
No, there are people with home without loans.
yeah, they are lucky.
They paid off.
That's correct. Who are free from the debt. What is true cleansing? Is it? Cleansing of the mind. What is darker than the charcoal? We discussed this last time. Disrepute. Yeah. What is the best religion again? We discussed what is religion. And then now what is the best religion? Empathy. What is empathy? Can you explain? Last time we discussed.
Like feeling, acknowledging someone's
Suffering.
sufferings or situation.
Correct. What is the difference between empathy and sympathy?
Sympathy is your outside, empathy is your getting into issues.
Sympathy that which you like to do. Empathy is that you need to do. My way of saying. Because sometimes I can be sympathetic, I can be charitable because I is still there. The empathy is that even you don't like to do, but is still doing for others. That's an empathy. That's called the best religion. So now it's not Hinduism, Christian, Jainism, Buddhism. It's a core, much deeper than. So when you go to much deeper, core. Okay, what can prevent mourning, suffering, feeling pain? What would it prevent? Controlling the mind. What is the definition of shame? Keeping yourself away from unworthy things.
That's what we discussed.
Yeah, that was the last thing we discussed.
We tried to get some more details on that.
So what we found was that you go to mall, for example, and somebody is there, asking for the money, and they didn't have privilege, they're living the cold, and then eventually, but you didn't have anything to offer. But you wanted to, you could not offer. I said, I feel ashamed that I could not help.
Okay. Oh, that's what they're saying about unwanted things.
Unworthy things. Because
Unworthy
I
things.
should make myself worthy so that I can help others. Because I feel ashamed that I could not help.
Oh, okay.
That's real shame. Because that's reason next time I always carry some cash or something in hand. Like, some way of expressing. Okay. So that's where we left last week. Now, let's do it again, and then we will stop it if you have questions. How you liking it so far? Learning it? So this is what Mahabharata teaches, and by we're living together in this world, how do we live? But now we add philosophy of Srimad Bhagavatam, a different perspective. So what is piety? We use this word. He's very righteous. She's piety. What is the piety you can think of?
Doing charity.
Doing your duty.
Yeah, doing your duty.
Charity.
Charity. Yes. It says thus, wishing happiness for all.
Wishing happiness
For all. That's real piety. That means we should not think of ill for anybody. Just wish. That's real piety. Just not doing yajna. Doing yajna is also piety, but what is the purpose of that? Yeah. So it's going deeper, sometimes deep. Okay, that's good. Any discussion you want to have? Raghav, you're pretty silent. You're absorbing. Okay. Next is, What kills a nation? This is very important. What kills a nation?
Slavery.
Yeah. There's two things actually: slavery and anarchy.
Yeah.
When Britishers came to America, they didn't find a beggar. They appointed a person. It is there. I think his name is Muller, John Muller. So he traveled length and breadth. Everybody is happy.
America?
In
Or
India.
India.
So when they invaded India, so they tried to look for, because at that time people are like, the beggars are all over India, they could not find. I'm talking about 18th century. There was no beggars, everybody is happy. He traveled, then he wrote a report. When there is a free food and there is a free education, no one will beg. All the temples are rich. All the temples is giving free knowledge, education, Gurukul, free food. The people are happy. It's a barter system. There is no currency. Like, I'm a plumber. You're a farmer. I work and you give me the rice. Then I work for you. Then you're a carpenter. You are this and that. So what happened? There's an exchange of work. But there was a gold. There's a silver. There's a three kinds of bronze, something like that. That is there, but that's for different purposes. So when he gave this report, and then government, Lord Hoover at that time, they said, but how do we convert this into Christian nation? Because we have to bring, separate them and rule. So that's where they killed these two. No free education, no free food. India economy and the country crumbled. What? Before that, Muslim people invaded for 1500 people, 1500 years. They could not do, and this the Britishers, they did in a very short time. Killed education and then free food. That's exactly, he's talking about 5,000 years before. What kills the nation? Slavery and anarchy. That's very dangerous. Okay. And what is the true best of a Brahmanhood? What is the true test of Brahmanhood? Like we all use the word Brahmin. What is the true test for Brahmin? Prabhupada always says, Brahmin is not by birth, it's by nature. So there's 4 answers he gave. There's a multiple question. Somebody is asking. Dynasty, character, teachings, or knowledge? Knowledge. What else? Character. What else? Dynasty. Teachings. Answer is character. The Brahman, the test is character. Brahman, other name of Brahman, the one who knows the Brahman, the Atma. The Brahman is also disposition. It is also a situation. Who teaches is also Brahman. One who also knows the Brahman, which is all-pervading, Paramatma, is also Brahman. Okay? So the character of a Brahman is very important. Good. Next is getting tougher. Is a religion or dharma a logic? Uses the word religion or dharma both. Here, or that means even in the time, of course somebody translates this in English. So when you say somebody in that days, religion is called dharma, but now in English we call religion. And it came from the word religio. It came from to bind back your own nature. So what is it a logic? Dharma or religion is a logic? Answer is yes or no.
No. Dharma is logic. Dharma is logic.
Why? Let's talk about 2 minutes. What is dharma? We'll go back to again.
Nature.
Nature.
Nature of thing.
Constitutional position,
Yes.
and nature, your disposition. Yeah. So now, is that a logic? What does a logic means? We use this word logic.
Explain something by reasoning.
Yes. Explaining or proving something with the reasoning. hypothesis. You create, you assume something, you build on it, then it matches, it works. Okay, see, is dharma is a logic. A religion is a logic. Maybe. There is no third answer. Yes or no?
You don't need a logic to explain the, like sugar is sweet.
You taste it, you know it.
Yeah, there's no logic.
Exactly, that is the answer. So dharma, a religion, we're not here to prove anybody, anything. That's an awareness, as before said. And it is also cannot be proven. It can be exhibited through our actions.
Like both are not same, right? Religion and dharma are not the same.
But here, they
Religion
can be
is faith, right?
closely coupled. They're two different.
Yeah.
But in Western world, there is no other name for it, dharma. Can anybody can think of alternate name for dharma other than religion? Philosophers could not find any other word so far. Ever since English came into picture, always they use the word religion for dharma. There's nothing else. But what is the best name to call the God? It's a God. Is that best? No. By definition of a God is a controller. But there's so many controllers. You're God, I'm God. I'm controlling your project, you're controlling your car, you're controlling your office, she's controlling somebody. So Bhagavatam starts with that first verse. God is not the best name to call God. That is the first verse in Bhagavatam. What is the verse, Parikshit? Anybody can say? Janmad. Yeah, let's say it.
Sunday school kids.
Go ahead.
Come on.
Satyam Param Dhimahi. Param. That's the name of.
Is that
The
Shikshastakam?
No.
But but the sound is Shikshastakam. Okay.
That's meter.
Yeah, the meter, right?
Yeah. So the best name to call God is Param Satya. Absolute truth. That is the best name. But English word, there's nothing else we can call. There is another name. Anybody can think of? Lord. Lord, God, Supreme Controller. They are the characteristics of a God. But not to address absolute truth. What is absolute?
There is no room for any.
There is no room. One without second. It's also abstract. Like in last time I gave an example. Like if I want to show me the blue. There's nothing you can show. You have to show blue ring, blue shirt, white paper. It has to be associated with something. The same thing God has is an attribute. I cannot. Can somebody show the God that its question itself is wrong? Can you see it? I can see God here. Can you see it? But somebody can prove or disprove? It's an abstract. So that's the reason God comes into the realm of absolute truth. Not even truth, absolute truth. Satyam Param Dhimahi. So that's the reason, coming back to the point, a religion, a dharma is not a logic. It's not a reason, it's beyond that. It can be, logic can be used to establish a hypothesis, to exhibit. For example, I said dharma of sugar is sweet. And you can explain logically, like you can take it and put it in your mouth, you can see, and you can test it, then you can feel, yeah, I can accept this.
So I had a question.
Yes.
So I understand that nature is logic, it's absolute. But our job is to attain self-realization or attain that logic. But that path can change. So would you say that logic is subjective or logic changes?
Yes, logic is subjective. It can change. Which cannot change is absolute. So there's a difference between logic and an absolute. Absolute doesn't change. I said one without second is nothing else. Like, for example, my finger is short. How can I prove it? To prove what I need to do, doing something else. Yeah, compared to this is short. Compared to this is short. So now when there is a comparison, that's where the logic and reasoning and hypothesis comes in. Because why? We are rational beings. Like, to say that I'm suffering, that I have to know what is enjoyment. Otherwise, what does that mean of me experiencing something I call is a suffering? Because then I'm same thing here. I'm saying like I'm happiness. What does that mean? Feeling of happiness, a feeling of separation, a feeling of union. All this, it has equal and opposite sides. That's the reason there's a duality. This world has a duality because of the logic and reason. Shankaracharya explained this. So we can explain. The explainability of that nature is subjective. One, you cannot explain about explainability. The process, explain is the process. I mean to say, is that it's actually very objective. What is objective that you're trying to do? Because I don't know, you're trying to explain to me, then you have to pass that your idea into me, which is objective of your intention. Then you use the logic and reasoning. So then, it makes sense to me. Yeah. So you use example. You give like this and that. Do you remember that happened? You remember this happened? Yeah. So that's how. Is Dharma is that? No, that's not logic. Dharma is your nature, your intrinsic nature. That nobody cannot separate. Only you can experience. That's the reason it is there in your awareness. So perfectly, these are all Upanishadic statements. Upanishad means? Upanishad means that is very close to Upa means near. Shat, which is close to you. So that's who is close to you? Yourself. So Athato Brahma Jignasa, one word. Inquire, who are you? Jannadhyasa, everything come from one. That's one step. Like E equal to mc square. Who derived this? Einstein. How did he came to that? So many hypotheses, so many experiments. So finally he comes here. Then when we read E equal to M, what is E equal to M, what is M and C? If we develop that, that's an Upanishad statement. But if we develop that, it's called Itihas. It has a past tense, a Leela. To explain that, explainability of that is a Leela. That's what Mahabharata, Ramayana. To give you the objective of the point. It's subjective, but to get to the objective of that, that's all this explanation is needed. But that's not Dharma. Because why? You have nothing to learn new. You already know everything. As we discussed before, in Gurukul, there's nothing. Teacher will not teach anything. Right now, my situation is I forgot. The teacher gives a tool through which you can know. It came from education, came from the word educare, to bring it out. It is already there. Bring it out. That's the reason when Prabhupada came here, he asked, is there any department to know about yourself in this university? No. You learn medicine, you learn about metallurgy, you learn A, B, C, D, but to know about yourself, self-realization, there's nothing. That's where temples, synagogues, churches used to be there, to teach about yourself, to open the paradigm in such a way that you can see yourself. All they do is they put a mirror. That's what the chanting does. The person, sincere person, sit and chant, and the person can know who is she or who is he. If you start chanting attentively, the mind reveals to you who you are. All the bad thoughts, good thoughts, whatever it may be, they will come up. I thought I'm a decent guy. If somebody says, when you chant, if you write it down what your mind says, no one will talk to you. No one will see your face. It's a reality.
That's how people should enter you now.
Yeah, but what happened if we have our own condition? We are trying to be better. But if we're honest, then that's where we become, that experience brings like humility. Oh my God, I really have to change. I have so many bad qualities. It's also good qualities. Then what is the solution? Prabhupada said, Somebody asked Prabhupada, I see Krishna in my dream. I see Radharani in my dream. I see devotees. Keep chanting, everything will go off. Keep chanting, everything will go off. What is left inside? This sometimes good also comes, appears to be good. But we don't know. It's all like, it's here. So very good. This topic, one has to understand subjectivity, objectivity. You question also, like, what is the purpose behind the entire cosmic manifestation? Entire cosmic manifestation depends on this principle. One principle. I want to be God. Sorry to say it, people go to churches, synagogues, they worship. We read all those things, but the deep, if you go, keep going, the rock bottom is that the reason we are here to become a God. And we are trying. Bahunam janmanamante gnanavam mam prapaddante vasudeva samanati samatma sudurlabha, after many lifetimes. This piece, that planet, this planet, many lifetimes. That's what we're trying to do. When you get there, I wish if I get that, I can be happy. Mother Nature provides. When we get there, experience, no, this is not what I want. Something else. That is going on. Finally, after many lifetimes, I said, wait a minute, who am I? That's where Athato Brahma Jignasa. Where did I come from? What is my nature? Why am I here? What's happening around? Awareness. When that awareness comes, that the intrinsic nature comes out. And then we call different denominations. But that when the intrinsic nature comes out, that's the first thing, self-realization. Awareness comes. Aham Brahma, I am Atma. I never die, I never get old, I never get disease. Because the soul has nothing all of this. So when we get that, you got a 50% liberation. You got 50% liberated. Then now, okay, I am a soul. You know what we are not. What we think before, what I want. When I get there, finally, then we understood what we are not. Then next 50% finding out who are we. That is where the Guru teaches. Tadviti pranipatnena pariprashnena sevaya upadeshante jnaninam tattva darshan. Tattva is the nature. Nature of the salt is salty. The nature of the sugar is sweet. Nature of the soul. Tattva comes out, that intrinsic nature. What is the tattva? There is only one truth in entire cosmic manifestation, is that I am a servant. What I was trying to do all these lifetimes? Trying to take the role of God. What is the role of a God? Explained in three dimensions. Supreme controller, supreme enjoyer, supreme proprietor. Is it ringing any bell? This is mine. She's mine. I am yours. This is my country. This is my profession. Proprietorship. I want to enjoy. Anything you do, there's a reason. What is the objective of that? I mean my happiness. I am your friend because I need you, you need me. In the World War II, in France and then English, British, they were arch rivals. And then Hitler came, they became best friends. And then there was there's a famous quote, I think it's at Winston Churchill, somebody said, it's not like they're friends, but they have a common interest. That's the friendship here. Little suffocation in the relationship, you squeeze little bit, things comes out. It's an illusion. My goodness is as good I am to cover myself, to show how good I am to you in front of you. That's the reason honesty, if you put a mirror of consciousness and if you write it down, you will know who you are. That is the core principle Prabhupada started chanting Hare Krishna. It goes deeper, 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 deeper. It reveals you who you are. Your Sthita Deha, your eternal nature will be revealed one day. That much powerful. When you chant Hare Krishna, you try to listen and eventually it reveals. Sorry, I have to spend a lot of, you understand my passion. I'm saying like this, I really like this. That is a point. If you can take home point, like, as Kapil initially brought up this idea. Where does that somebody get an idea? They're all coming from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. It is there within their heart. But they don't know it. When they develop, then we all have the same source. different colors, different bodies, different religions, different creeds, different castes. They are all surface. Bottom, if you go deeper, we all come from the same soul. At core, we are all equal. At core, we are all same thought process. Our faith system is always intact at core, because we all have the same source coming from Supreme. That's the reason it's very important. But whatever we do, we should ask the question, honest, why am I doing this? To show the world how long you can cheat them. We should be honest to ourselves. We should be honest to, that's the first thing. This is what I am. At least, even in material world, they say that in front of 3 people, you should always be honest. One is a doctor, other is a lawyer, other is guru. Otherwise, doctor cannot, like if I don't tell him, of course, they have run tests that they may find out, but in general, I have to tell them. And the same thing, lawyer, to win my case, I have to explain all my case. But same thing as a teacher. I don't know anything. Start with a clean slate, then you can teach. So, same thing in spiritual world also, especially the guru and close Vaishnavas and then Krishna and from the deity. We should be honest to ourselves. We don't have to tell the whole world about my list, but at least Krishna, I'm suffering, I'm struggling, I need help. This is what I am. At least to be honest to ourselves, and then those who help themselves rather, Krishna will help. I think we spoke enough about this. Let's move on. So conclusion is religion, dharma is not a logic. Then again, is religion and dharma found in philosophy of sages? Next question. Now you said that religion and dharma is not a logic, but where is this found? Is it the philosophy of a sages? Who is a sage? Learned. Answer is no.
You will only explain, right? So
yes. This is another question. Why? There is never two philosophers agree the same thing. Philosopher by definition has, Kapil is a philosopher, for example, let's say, and then Raghu is a philosopher. They may have principles, something common, but they have a different approach. Not in one philosopher will agree with others. So let's see what exactly says verbatim here. Is religion or dharma found in the philosophy of sages? Yudhistir said, no. Each sage differs in opinion from other sage, and there lies conflict between their arguments. No philosopher, Brahman or learned man has understanding of complete truth. Everybody is unique. That's the reason I always say there is no competition for us in the path of bhakti. We're not here to show to anybody. I can compete to myself. How I was yesterday, can I get better than that? So that I can be a better person tomorrow. I can only compete to myself. Nobody is competition to me. I'm not competition to anybody. If somebody is going, you have a royal path, I have a royal path. So do all of us. In the past, what is the sense gratification? Debates. Debates. In the past, in Vedic culture, there is no movies, there is no, TV. The debate is that you read something, I read the same thing. Let's discuss what you understand. But in a common ground and a friendly ground, not in a fighting. Unfortunately, things do happen. So that is a sense gratification. Some reason I have the same thing, question answer session. If you put me here next 2 days, we can sit and talk about the questions. Some reason, I don't know why. I love question answers. Somebody asks a question. Sometimes there are sometimes in the past, the new batches comes, up to night, everybody leaves. Night 1, 2, 3 o'clock. Like the same enthusiasm question. And again 5 o'clock I had to get up, go for dressing Sunday morning. It doesn't matter. That energy comes, question answer session. This is the question answer session. Bhagavatam is the question answer session.
So what is Chaitanya Charitamrita? You mentioned Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam.
Beautiful point. What is Chaitanya Charitamrita? Is a living of the three. The combination of the three. It's called Bhagavad Gita is the ABCD of spiritual life. Bhagavatam is a graduate studies. Chaitanya Charita Amrita. Charita means history, Amrita means nectar. Charita Amrita, the nectar. Chaitanya, when God came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he exhibited like Ram. He also exhibited how to live. He also exhibited how to live. All the three dimensions was exhibited in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And a Madhurya Bhav. Supremely sweet relationships. That you don't find in Bhagavatam, you don't find in Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata. Chaitanya Charitamrita, like, can you imagine God come and sit and talk and joke and then debate and then steal and then put a hand and go for a walk. All those things you don't find in anywhere else. That's in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's very sweet. Those who read Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's a postgraduate Vedic literature. And Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Mangal, they're all the same. But coming back to the point, you all agree? Any comments? Where is my... sorry. Yeah. So no one philosopher agree with other, which is fine, but they'll find a common ground. Like even lawyers, so they read the same books, same cases, they argue. The judge pick the best argument, something like that. Okay. Then he asked. First he asked, is religion, dharma is a logic? He said no. Then he says, where does it resides? Is the philosophy says this? He said no. And next question, then where is the complete truth? Then where is the complete truth? And again, come back to the first question. It lies within the heart and soul and the mind of a person who believes it. Isn't it amazing? Belief system.
Came to a full circle.
Full circle. Because what I eventually, if you can prove me whatever logic you want. I'm not going to convince. I can only convince when I want to. My want is based on my belief system. If it matches, if it is reasonable, it is rational, it makes sense. I can think about it. That's the reason, you should never ever preach to anybody. If the person says, I'm not interested, it only gets worse. The one has to experience. Spiritual life is not experience, it's experiential. That's much even deeper than that. But you cannot convince anybody. But if that person is logically, reasonably wants to show some interest, I wanted to know, then you can present. But otherwise, it's an offense. It's an offense to force somebody religion that's dharma and others. No. Because everybody has a royal path. You got there because of something. Let the person also come to that level. Or maybe that person is in supreme, far ahead of us, but I'm not realizing it. They're not exhibiting that yet. Because sometimes yogis walks in, we never know who they are. I may be starting my spiritual life now, I may be 13%. And that person would have crossed 95, they're not doing anything. They took a million lifetimes break. When they start, it starts in 96. So that's the reason we don't know. We cannot judge anybody by face is not in this of the mind. So these are the things. If you read these great acharyas.
What about carrying the spark?
Huh?
Carrying the spark.
Yes. Or we can just reconnect.
Right. That's it. At least we need to do that.
Exactly. But if that person is willing, not against their will.
But without doing how can it?
Yes. They have to. First, that simple person, I took risk. You can also take risk, but that risk can only last so long.
Yeah, the fire is covered with smoke.
Exactly. You can present. When Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 4th or 5th chapter, he says, you can never force on this anybody because their faith system is built, and that is what they earned, which they brought them to that stage. We have no right to distract somebody's faith.
No, we are not distracting, but we need to educate them.
Not only distract is the word properly. What is the word you said? We have no right to disturb somebody's faith. Disturb somebody's faith. But however, based on the relationships, so it is possible. So then you can present and leave it there. Somebody asked, what is preaching? A lot of people said a lot of things. My spiritual master, he said, preaching is not that. Establishing a religious principle based on the scripture that you're wrong, I'm right. It's something is Prabhupada said that operation successful, patient is dead. Did everything follow perfectly, patient is dead. That's not preaching. Preaching is something, whoever the person, whatever the background, whatever the caste and creed, whatever the person has it, if we can help the person to become strong in that, and if that person is willing, work with him to take one more step close to Krishna. Whatever it need to be done. So that's preaching. Preaching in the Western world is not right, positively taken. It's actually sharing. To share. Having a dialogue. You experience. You can be honest and say, this is what I'm doing. That's what these ads, the billboards says. Buy this, buy this, buy this. Then you check it out. If you like it, you take it. Otherwise, you don't take it. The same thing here. But at the end of the day, what are we trying to show to the world? Nothing. I'm only showing to God or Krishna, this is what I learned. This is showing or sharing with others is a means to show whom, not to you or you. I may be sitting in class, but who is my audience? It is one person. Is right within. Because why? I rejected the person and came here. Now I want to reconnect. Self-discovery. It is not nothing discover new. It is already there. Research. You're searching back which we already lost. Reconnecting. So when we do that, who is my audience? Let's fast forward 10 years. When I come to college and I say, do you remember that day we discussed about this? What are you talking about? So the one person is listening. Everything is recorded. That is the person I'm showing. Not to anybody else. And that person is with me 24/7. I am with that person. I can tap that person. Not only in the temple. Not only when I'm chanting Hare Krishna. Not only when I see the photo. That person is all pervasive. But right now I can only see. Like, for example, I'm feeling thirsty. Water is everywhere. But I still go to tap. But I don't have built-in energy so that I can experience the environment, I can quench my thirst. The day will come, this is possible. But for that I follow the path. That called ism, Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism. These are tools through which a person will take you to that extent. But even in spite of that, they can only take you to that extent. But I have to put, why am I doing this? That's the reason. These questions are so profound, Where is the complete truth? It is within the heart, the soul and mind of a person who believes it. And then now that goes to the next $1 million question. This is the most famous of this conversation. Most other people knows it. What is the greatest wonder in the world? What is the greatest wonder in the world?
Everybody is dying around me. I'm thinking that I'm going to live forever.
I'm an exception. Not me. I'm great. I can get around it. They don't know. I can figure it out. I can deal with it. Exactly. So what is verbatim here? Every man knows that death is ultimate truth of life. However, he wishes otherwise. Then, final question. You have answered all my questions correctly. This is he's like, yes, done. If you want, you can have one of your brothers alive. My dear friends, listen very carefully. Whatever we discuss is philosophy. Now, the philosophy in action. Why this person is so great? Yudhistir, why is called Dharma. He's asking, Bhim, Arjun, mighty warriors, Nakul and Sahadev, 4 are lying. There's a big battle is ahead of the game. And then he's asked, you can pick one of your brother. I don't know about if I were you, I'll pick Arjuna or Bhima. Whom you picked? Nakula. why?
Matari's son.
Yeah, he says, I am the oldest of my mother, Kunti. And then it is Dharma that my other mother should have a son. Then he asked, but he's not that powerful, I know. But at the end of the day, in the name of destiny, all the names and numbers. I'm not here to prove anything to anybody. While I'm here, I have to do something. I do, but I'm not attached. Amazing. He does his duty, but not attached. It's very easy to sit and say like this. I'm also a victim. I'm also like any of you. But by doing it, saying it one day, it will become my nature, second nature. Then he said, okay, I'm so pleased. What did he say? Yeah. I'm so pleased, then I'll give one more boon. One more boon. He can pick one more brother. He didn't pick Bhim, he didn't pick Arjuna, he said, pick Sahadev. This person, why? Because he's the youngest. See, he never ever left Dharma. No matter whatever the situation. 13th day of the war, of the exile. Yudhistir sitting in his hut, sitting, meditation. Here comes Bhim with his weapon. Arjuna comes with the weapon. He says, come, let's go fight. What are you talking about? On certain occasions, 13th year can be compared to the 13th day. We passed 13 days, now we can go and fight. Let's go, we'll take revenge. Thank you, all the best. Go ahead. Go ahead, he says, go ahead. You have all right, I cannot force you. Because I took a vow, I said a word to them that I'll see you after 13 years. I am going to live. That's a character.
So how come, if he's so righteous, why didn't he help Draupadi in the ceremony, the disrobing ceremony?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question. We'll talk about that. So, yeah, I'll come to that. So now he's saying that, he says, no, I want you to follow path of Dharma if you want. And they could not go. Now coming back to the point, why did he do? So there's a few answers explained. So Yudhistir, at the time of Rajasuya sacrifice, in the Khandava Prastha became Indraprastha. Then you know the story. Krishna came, and then eventually then Shishupala was killed, and then when Shishupala was killed, Narada was there, and then Vedavyas made a comment. I'm going to connect the dot. I can explain. He says, "I'm so happy to see you, all of you together. I don't know when I'll see you again." Is why all Pandavas, Kauravas, they're together, working together, and then when Shishupala is killed, and then of course that's where she tied blood, stopped the blood with her sari, and then when everybody left, he asked Yudhisthira, "Why did you say this?" He smiled. He says, "Ask Narada," and he walked away. Because these are the people, they Kalagnan, they know in the future. He says, "Oh, there is going to be a big war. The destiny is going to use you as an instrument." The reason not many people knows about. I'm giving the prelude. Why does Yudhisthira did what he did? The conversation, and there's nobody else. Then he got up. He's so personification Dharma. What does it mean? Destiny is going to choose me. There is a great war. Eventually, 660 million people dead in 18 days. That doesn't count animals, like camels or horses or elephants. 660 million people dead in 18 days. The destiny is going to make you as an instrument. You are shivered. How is it possible? I don't want to hurt anybody. He smiled. You want to know everything? Keep something for the time to reveal itself. Let the time reveal itself to you. There are certain things you should not know. It's called Deva Rahasya. It's called Deva Rahasya. Very dangerous. We don't have capacity. He's then in his mind, he first whatever my varistas, that means my older people, eldest people says, I'll do it. That is the first bija for the dice game. What happened is a detail. And then fast forward. So now here comes, and Duryodhan has seen the opulence of all these things. Then he made a plan. They brought him there. They played the dice game. And they lost with the cheating. So before that, then he didn't want to. Yudhistir said, "I'm not going to play the game." So Duryodhan played a game. He told him to his father. Since his father said two things here, and he could not say no. Why? He already took. Wow, whatever my elder says, I'll do it. Second, Shatra Dharma. If somebody challenges the weapon or a die, they have to play. That's the nature. That's the reason he could not say no. But once that happened, but he is also a human being. That's the reason we are not God. He went through the emotions of losing after losing after one. Second, played a perfect mind game. Even though the Dharma personification, if he is in the wrong place, does wrong activity, he is not an exception. He reveals this. You ask the same question asked by Virat in Exile, Cognito, to Yudhistir. His name is Kankabat. One day he was playing the dice game with Virat King, because they are all playing the different roles in Virat Kingdom, right? He was acting as a king's advisor. He was saying that you're a friend of Yudhistir. Why did you do that? Don't you know that it's a bad to play the dice game or what do you call that? Dice game. But then the concept is called casinos, gambling. Thank you. He knows it, but he could not say it. Why? He is possessed. The perfect game plan created by Shakuni, first started with 100 gold coins, 1,000 gold coins. Entire gold, entire all their army, kingdom, one after. Then he created a situation where still he can win. He gave the hope. Yes, I did a mistake. Need to cover the mistake. Then he ended up doing one more mistake. That's how it's a vicious cycle. That's the reason Dharma will never reside on the floor. It's a vicious cycle. There's a
Dharmaraj also wins, right? When
Starting
Prasad comes, they play there. Dharmaraj actually defeats Sekuni. He had that mindset.
That's a friendly game. He played many times in the past.
Right, and he says, I'm a better player than Sekuni all the time. But the Samayas. Like
this is the time the destiny has to use somebody as an example and an instrument to show the world what not to do. That's what he tells Virat Maharaj. Because I was chosen to show the world what not to do. Even the greatest player, greatest person, if he's done a wrong place, a wrong activity is done, then that person is also thrashed by the destiny. So these are the things happen in Mahabharata. Doesn't many people read, because Mahabharata is something I read maybe 30 times. I like Mahabharata. If you ask me a question, I can say it again. Talk hours and hours for many dimensions. So that is the question. Yeah, nice question.
So he has a right on his brothers to bet, but I don't think he had a right on Draupadi.
One more question. This other question. Who asked this question? Draupadi herself.
Yeah. She comes back and questions.
So
that, yeah.
this person is called Vidushak. So they send him because not everybody entered into the ladies' room. All the queens are kept in other room. They are there, and the men are not supposed to allow. And this Napunsak, that means he's not a fully man. It's not a fully woman. So those kind of people kept as a strong people. So they know there's no nothing is going to happen to the women. So they use these kind of people. So and then they send him. When they send him, and then Maharani, there was a dice game happened. This is what happened. The context. They asked me to tell you should come. Then what happened? She's very intelligent. She's actually her normal monthly period for the women's, she's in Ekavastra. And that I'm not supposed to come, but tell me what happened. Then he explained. He said, did he put me on a bet before he lost himself, after or after? If he's a king. So he lost his kingdom. He's not a king anymore. He lost everybody, everything. Then he asked, that means he's not a king anymore. then how can he bet queen? He cannot, because he does not belongs to his property. He already lost. Or he bet me before he lose, and then that person could not answer the question. Then he came back, and then eventually Hare Krishna. Eventually they forcibly brought her. They dragged her. You know the story. So then she stood there and she asked this question to everybody: am I used as an instrument? I'm a person not supposed to be done. I'm not a thing. I'm a woman. I'm the pride of my clan. So now how can somebody can put, including him? He has no right because he himself lost. How can he put me in a bed?
He's already a slave.
Yeah, he's already a slave. He doesn't. So then nobody could not. It's called Dharma Sankat. Nobody could not answer. There's only one person can answer. Is Vidura, and he said, "I also don't know." The best person is Bhishma. Bhishma said, "I don't know." Best person here, Dharma personification, is Yudhistir himself. Then he answered this question. He said, "Yes, as a king, I lost myself. That means I have no right to put you on bed because I am a husband too. I didn't put it. One perspective husband, other perspective is a king. As a king, I have no role, but as a husband, because that's what we took the vows. Like when you go to marriage, Tatastu, yes, we do all these things. You know how many contracts we are writing? How many contracts we are writing to the priest? Yes. He says yes. He says yes.
Not climb a tree, not fall down.
So many things. Bhagavatam says yes. We write so many contracts. What is the best contract? Is he or her, they are writing a contract. I will deliver her or she will deliver me, so that they will not take birth again. I will not have children. If I have children, I have to prepare in such a way they will not take birth again. Just imagine how many false promises. Most of us married except couple here. They have an option. You're not married, you're all married. That time no one told us. We said, write the contract. Like in a credit card application, when you buy the card, how many pages we sign? How many of us read them? Agree. Then finally something goes like, you said this. Who's witness? Sun, moon, air, fire, everything is witness. Then why does divorce happen? Why are we fighting? Yeah. He said something right. Did you follow? And what it's obvious. Anyway. So those are the. Sorry. Any other Mahabharata questions?
I have one question.
Okay.
Draupadi came through fire.
Yes.
Right? So why didn't she use that power when Dushashan disrobed? She could have just used the fire to burn him down, right?
Beautiful. Why she didn't do it? She is also personification of Dharma. I'll tell you why. So after this is done, Bhima ferociously said, "I'm going to kill all the Kauravas because of they're trying to do." And then he also said, "I'm going to kill Karna." Arjuna said, "I'm going to kill Karna." All those things happened. When everything is over, then Gandhari came. Then Gandhari found out this all nonsense happening, and she came and says, "Why?" Then she chastised her husband. "What are you doing? You're a king. You're supposed to stop it." "Sorry, I'm also possessed. I didn't know. I was fearful. I didn't say anything." Then he said, "Okay, give them, whatever you've done, give them back." And then she said, "Then first, if at all I'm afraid, is one person I'm afraid to is a Draupadi. She also represents Mother Earth. She also represents the chastity. She also represents the society. She also represents morality. When this has been violated here, we are going to pay." Krishna says everybody wrote a contract to personification of death, how they're going to suffer because of one who made her cry. And then Gandhari asked me boon. What do you want? And you know what she asked? She said, "Free my husbands. Slavery is the greatest calamity. not the calamity, earthquake, create slavery. We discussed before. She says the same thing. She says slavery is a calamity. So my husband, and then my husband should be free. All my husband, including herself, should be free from slavery. And then I'm so happy. I want to give more. So please give them weapons. The king without, the Kshatriya without weapon. Shatra came from Shastra. So they had to be, they lost weapons also. And no, that's fine. You're asking me insignificant. Give me, I'll give you more. He said no. She could have asked kingdom. She did not. She said, Kshatrani, but Brahmin can ask one boon. Kshatrani can ask, Kshatriya can ask 2. Vaishya can ask 3. Sudra can ask 4. I'm a Kshatrani, I can only ask 2. Even that situation, Prabhu. She never deviated from Dharma. She could have got it. She would have got everything back. She didn't ask. We have to earn that. That's the reason. And then she has the power, but she did not use it. She has the power. She did not use it. Because why? That is not the right time, right place. That's the reason she did not kill. She has the power to kill them. Even Sita, eventually later on says, like she has power to kill Ravanasura, burn to ashes. But however, she did not do it because destiny has a different plan for something else to happen by somebody else, through somebody else, at different time place. So why even Gargamuni, he has the power to kill Kamsa when he's doing atrocities. He says no. God has a plan, and He will do. When He wants me to do, He will tell me. But this, I'm not the right person for that. So that's one of these all these great lessons we can learn from the scriptures, Mahabharata, Ramayana, like what to do, when to do, how to do, and based on what people have done in different times and different places, what we can learn. That's it. Then finally we ask, okay. Then he says, when he said, I want Sahadeva, then I'm so pleased, I'll give all of you, all the 4 brothers, I'll give you, and then you can take it. Then he asked. So far he asked the question. Can I ask a question now? He says, well, who are you? I'm crane. I know you're not a crane. You got to be something more than that. I'm a Yaksha. I'm a Yaksha. I came here to test you. I said, with all my humility, I don't accept that. Yaksha has no power to give the life back. You got to be more than that. He's so intelligent. Yeah, he's so intelligent. Then he revealed, I am your own father. Because previous we discussed at the end of 20th Cognito, they are doing Yajna. One deer came. What did they do? Steal how to lit the fire. Then the 2 sticks. And then for that such they all came to this lake. This all happened. So I am the deer to take you away from this. Your 12 years, preparing you for the next. Before next good thing, the test always comes. Sometimes we like complying this and that. There's always good comes, but eventually, and when emotions fall down, this we can see there's a great thing come after calamity. The great silence before calamity.
Visa people knows better than
Kapil, you don't understand this.
How come they picked deers? Deers are always, you take Ramayana.
Which one?
Take Ramayana. Deer is the one who He's also there.
This I don't know. This I don't know.
Similarly, also goes after the deer. Right? Yeah. Whenever you hear deer in the Ramayana Mahabharata, something significant is going to happen after that.
Yeah, correct. Something. Let me research.
Bharat Maharaj.
So with that,
connection.
It's not here. Something is going to happen.
Exactly, Bharat Maharaj.
Everywhere.
So something there. But I maybe some other time we'll discuss.
Maybe it's cute.
So there are so many things we can learn.
If I can ask, I want to maybe others also can put a request, right? So I hear Mahabharatam, there are two people who are more renowned compared to anybody else, entire characters, right? One is Vidura, second one is Sanjay. Right? Vidura we kind of know. I think we'd like to know more about Sanjay. Like
Sanjay,
why, they feel like these are the two people Krishna feels, right? Not done anything bad in entire Mahabharata.
So Vidura, you know.
Yeah, Vidura.
In his previous life, he's Maharaj. You know that.
Oh, okay.
In his previous life, he's an Maharaj was in one of the universe. So he was always dealing. Sorry, it's 2 minutes. I'll end it. So he's always with punishing people in Amaloka and all those things. He was so, and then eventually he wanted to have a personal relation with the Krishna. So he had the desire, but he is pure devotee. So one day, what happened? One of the place, one sage used to sit and meditate whole life, and then in that sage, when his meditation, one thief comes and then hide behind him some gold. He stole something from the king, and then this king's servants comes, weapons searching for him. He come here, and then that person asks sage, did you see anybody? No, I'm in meditation, but I didn't see anybody. But eventually they found that the thief put that gold coins there and then run away. So they think he's the thief. And he says, I didn't do anything. They didn't listen. They drag him, take him to the court, and then king says, what happened? He is so busy. He says, oh, this is what happened. Okay, put him in a changa. Changa means, so what happened? There's a big wood. They have a string. They're tying him, and then they pull back at the string, hold it, and here they put an entire wall with all the sharp arrows or knives. So what happened when they release it? It comes so fast and hit him, entire body comes to pieces. It's called changa. So the king said, put him into changa. This person was bewildered. I was a mendicant. I was sitting in meditation. It's not fair. What is he doing? He's trying to explain reason. He didn't even listen. They drag him, put him there, and then put him there. They are tying, they're doing everything, whatever. It's they're about to release him. That particular time, his minister comes. What I'm trying to do is a great sage. Okay, stop. Then eventually he understood. I made a mistake. Then he released him. Then eventually I found out, and then he's not the thief. And this person bewildered. Why this kind of a punishment for me? For a little, I didn't do anything. Then he went directly with his mystic powers to the Amaloka. He asked, why this? Why I had to go through this pain and suffering? Yeah, I know, because when you're a little kid, you killed one ant. This person is so fear. What? Give me a break. I killed an ant, and further I had to suffer. You are not. That says cursed. He says you are not fit to be a Maharaj, not the Dharma personification. You became a Sudra. What is his desire? He wants to be associate of Krishna's pastimes. It's an instrument of this created in such a way that somebody came and cursed him. In the next life he became Vidura. He always lived with the Pandavas and then see Krishna. So how mysteriously what happens when and where we don't know. But everything there's a reason. Amazing. So this person, Vidura, we all know. And the next is Sanjaya, not meant in details, he's a Shudra, but he's a disciple of Vedavyas. And then Vedavyas, you know the story. So he's disciple. So he empowered him to see entire Bhagavad Gita. He's the first person who saw entire Bhagavad Gita. Entire war. And that Bhagavad Gita also.
And he also went to mediate, right?
Yeah, he did that also, many things. Anyway, so now since 8:30, we should end here. So during Prasadam we can discuss. But do you all liked it, this session? So we'll pick it.
Excellent, sir.
Excellent.
So then if you want...
Okay, if all of you can go on the website and say hello and just live streams, please. But I cannot capture any.
Photo session now.
Photo.
Take camera back. Take the camera back.
I am.
Kapil.
I'm not taking pictures. It's live stream. It's going live stream. I just want everybody to be in the camera. That's it. I'm not taking picture. It's live stream. It's going on YouTube directly right now.
So you all become celebrities?
Celebrities of Radha Madhav Brothers YouTube channel.
Million views, yeah. Thank you very much.
Haribo.
Haribo.
Yes, sir, Haribo.
We want to thank all the devotees who come and also
Thank you.
voluntarily participated to cook something and bring it. You don't have to, but it's mutual. It's between you and Krishna. Thank you very much. We want to thank them. So Mahaprasade Govinde. Mahaprasade Govinde. Brahmani Vaishnave. Brahmani Vaishnave. Sapapunya Rajan. Vishwasvanaiva Jayate. Vishwasvanaiva Jayate. Seera Vidyadai. Seera Vidyadai. Ravi, go. Haribo.